Our headlines today. More than 65,000 retired doctors and nurses are asked to return to the NHS to help to fight against coronavirus.
And from a nurse on the front line, unable to find fresh food, a plea to stockpilers.
People are just stripping the shelves of basic foods. You just need to stop it. Because it's people like me that are going to be looking after you when you're at your lowest.
NHS staff, teachers, police and people in the food industry are among the key workers whose children will still be allowed to go to school when they close to other pupils later today.
The Chancellor is expected to announce new measures on employment and wages to protect millions of jobs hit by the pandemic.
Good morning. In sport, there'll be no football until at least the end of April in England and Scotland. The English FA saying the season can be extended indefinitely due to coronavirus.
It's a Friday. Let's have a look at this morning's papers for you. Start with the Times newspaper saying the Chancellor expected to reveal an unprecedented package of tax cuts to help workers who will be affected by coronavirus. The paper suggests it will include reductions to income tax and national insurance.
Now, The Sun is focusing on the message from the Queen, which has urged people to unite and behave responsibly to beat the virus. Calling time is the headline on the front page, which also carries the government's appeal for people to stop going to pubs.
Meanwhile, The Guardian has more detail on attempts to develop a vaccine for the virus. The paper says a massive effort is underway to develop a UK jab within months and make it available to save lives before the end of the year.
And on the BBC News website, parents are being offered tips on how to help their children to cope with life away from school. It suggests making sure they have a routine and some time out of the house if possible.
Kat's joined us for a little look through some of the inside pages. What are you picking up on?
Well, back pages, most of them focusing on the fact that the Premier League has decided to extend the ban on football until April the 30th. The Prem's ban could last into next season, they're saying, and United's pledge as well, one of many clubs, to say they'll carry on paying their casual staff whilst the shutdown is on. There was a picture that caught your eye.
Well,
it just made you smile this morning.
Yeah, one of the things, obviously,
it's warm your heart.
Yeah, it's one of these lovely things. Just worth saying, in relation to both those interviews, if there are particular things you want us to pick up on with those people, these are the key players. Do let us know this morning. Keep them coming into the programme. We will pass them on your behalf. There'll be a lot of families working out what to do about their loved ones. You know, youngsters who want to go and see the grandparents. In this case, it's great-grandparents. It's a story, actually, that was picked up on by one of the ITV weather people. This is Chris Page. A friend of his sent this picture. It's a family in Norfolk, and taking the great-grandchildren see the great-grandparents. And what do? You know, you want to go, and I think there's a lot of people
expecting babies, and they're expecting babies over the next few weeks, but their parents aren't going to be able to come and meet their new grandchildren because of self-isolation.
And of course, it's Mother's Day. We were talking about that this morning, weren't we? It's Mother's Day this weekend, this Sunday, and lots of people, I imagine, will be sending flowers or cards. But lots of people can't go and see their parents, especially if they're over the age of 70. And so figuring out ways, we were just saying, when are we next going to see our mums?
Yeah, it's a weird feeling of distance and isolation.
Lots of phone calls.
Yeah, lots of phone calls. There are ways of keeping in contact.
For video calling. At least we can see each other's faces.
Train services across the UK are to be reduced gradually from Monday. This is after a drop in demand of up to 69% on some routes because of Covid-19. The Department for Transport says that core services will be maintained to carry goods and ensure that people can get to work and to medical appointments. It says, though, that cutting some services will also help protect the welfare of railway staff.
The government has announced new measures to boost the resilience of the health service as infections from the coronavirus grow in the UK. England's top nurse and doctor have urged medics to re-register and return to the workforce to help tackle what they call the greatest global threat to health in history. Letters are being sent to more than 65,000 retired doctors and nurses saying your NHS needs you. It comes as the government publishes that list of key workers in England whose children will still be able to go to school after they officially shut down. Meanwhile, the Chancellor is expected to announce new measures to protect jobs amid warnings that thousands may be laid off. Ministers have also pledged to ensure all hospitals have enough protective gear and ventilators. And the Queen has urged people to come together for the common good. So far, there have been 144 deaths and 3,269 confirmed cases of coronavirus here in the UK. It comes as schools across the UK close indefinitely today, except for those looking after the children of key workers and vulnerable children.